Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, it's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the par, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the theme song. Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo.
We are live!
Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it
What
comes to the Kings,
the
it's my
actual
favorite show.
fuck?
Do it for Deuce and Mo.
What is happening in the National Basketball Association tonight? We are live to figure it out with you. How we doing?
What up, Deuce?
Oh my God.
Who are we pointing at?
Hey, Morgan.
Hi. What?
I'm rooting for y'all.
Dude.
Let's go, Kane.
Okay, just turn this down. This might be the most shocking trade in NBA history. So shocking that when it was tweeted out just about 15 minutes ago from Shams Charania, no one believed it.
No.
No one. Even when he said, hey, no, it's real. I still, at this moment, kind of think I might be getting fooled.
We could be.
But Luka has been traded to the LA Lakers. Yes, Dallas Mavericks superstar, the 25-year-old sensation, a generational talent. Luka Doncic, who made it to the NBA Finals last year, has been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, and Anthony Davis is going to the Mavericks? You can't make this shit up. Well, I guess you could. Let's look at it together. This is real, according to ESPN at this hour. Luka, Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris headed to the Lakers. Anthony Davis, Max Christie in a 2029 Lakers first-round pick going to the Mavs. And, of course, Danny Ainge in on the action. The Utah Jazz get Jalen Hood-Schifino, a 2025 Clippers second-round pick, and a Mavs 2025 second-round pick. So here we are, planned on talking some Kings Thunder, all the drama surrounding De'Aaron Fox, and we'll sprinkle that in. But this is by far one of the most shocking things I've ever come across in sports. I'm not kidding you.
No.
Like this, what the?
Okay.
How? Why? I have so many questions.
We have so many questions that, guess what? Breaking news, not going to get answered tonight. That's what sucks about this. Feels like a dream. I almost feel a little numb. This is pretty wild that this is the trade. I'm so curious why this is the trade, so it's hard to break it down and be like, oh yeah, this totally makes sense. What happened? Who did what to make this happen and why?
And honestly, I'm not shocked by the Anthony Davis part of this. I'm not like Anthony Davis getting moved. Okay, I could see it Lakers. Let's swing at something. Luka got what? Like, what happened? Why did Dallas pick up that phone call and like, hey, what's up? You want AD? Sure, what are you thinking? Luka? Okay. Like, what? Why would you give up Luka?
There's a reason that we don't know.
Dude, there has to be something bigger than this because I
need more. I
can't
more.
believe it. And then, from a Lakers perspective, I know the instant reaction too is like, well, who the hell's their center? What the hell is this? Dude, yes. Lakers are trying to get ready for the post-LeBron era, and they have Luka now. I think they'll be okay.
They're good.
In the short term, yeah, who's their center? Yeah, Jackson Hayes not going to do it probably. But at this rate, are we really going to sit here and act like they don't have anything else they can do? They just pulled off this.
They pulled off this. One, that's one. Two, you're also in a market where everyone already wants to go to. Everyone wants to wear that jersey. Special things happen when you are a Laker. And now you have Luka there. It's
insane. If you're a Mavericks fan tonight, I can't imagine how you're feeling at the moment.
Are you happy? Are you sad?
What
are you feeling?
think? What do you think?
I'm gonna guess really sad, and I just don't understand if there's something else more. It's like I want to speculate that there's other drama going on. There has to be.
Well, Morgan, this is the time to speculate. We don't have any answers. Why not just speculate right now? I mean, Luka, of course, has been banged up. You're looking at more information coming out, and we're just going to do this together because let's be honest, we're all on our phones anyway. We're all trying to figure out why the hell this just happened. Tim McMahon over at ESPN says the Mavs had major concerns about moving forward with Luka due to his constant conditioning issues and the looming commitment of another super max contract extension this summer.
Okay, so we got a little bit of fat shaming in here. We got a little bit. No, I'm kidding. But
well, guess
seriously,
what? He's going to Hollywood. He'll get in shape fast, huh?
Zempic. What is that? The song?
Also,
Not funny.
Bobby Marks was suggesting that this is really financially a little backbreaking because Luka would have been eligible for the Supermax. He was in line to receive a 5-year, $345 million contract this summer. No longer Supermax eligible because being traded, right? Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. I want to hit on the Tim McMahon portion of this. They really reached their breaking point with Luka, huh? I mean, I know this is something we've talked about for so long. Like, hey, man, if this guy ever gets like locked in and in shape and he can be one of the best players ever, even though he's really damn good now, I'm just stunned that it got to this point, one. Two, that this type of deal gets executed in like a few hours and it was hush hush.
It was so hush hush.
You know, there's not like, hey, Luka's available. There's a bidding war.
And keep track of all the notifications that come in. No, that obviously every team in the NBA would have been calling, but they had one idea in mind.
Okay, it wasn't the Lakers reaching out. Think about this. Rob Pelinka sitting by the phone. He's like, what moves can I make? I'm struggling to make deals. I ran it back. I traded D'Lo. I got Dorian Finney-Smith. Can I do something else? Well, Shams is reporting the Mavs approached the Lakers recently and offered Luka. Lakers brass met and believe the 25-year-old Doncic has the ability to be the face of the franchise for the next decade while giving Anthony Davis a win-now move in Dallas. So Dallas is the team that reached out to the Lakers. I can't even say it.
Okay.
And I see a lot of the comments, and I love so many people here watching us live. If you haven't done it yet, hit the thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. All it does help our channel grow. And I'm seeing like stuff like the Lakers defense is cooked, or they don't have a big man. Oh, Luka this. Oh, this is weird. Hey, you just got a 25-year-old guy that if you get him right, which he's still been pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You're set up in the post-LeBron era. I mean, what are we talking about here? Am I missing it? I'm looking at tonight as one of the most shocking nights in NBA history.
Fair, fine, absolutely. I'm there with you. Mostly speechless / love that we're already getting information coming in, whether it's the Mavs feeling a certain way about his conditioning over the years and never feeling like it was getting to a certain spot, but then also the Mavs being the team that reached out to the Los Angeles Lakers being like, we're down for AD. You want Luka? But was that the conversation?
Well, and here's the other thing that to me is striking at this moment. If Luka was available, I mean, don't you feel like you could have gotten a shit ton for him?
You feel like it.
I mean, you got Max Christie has showed some promise, but like, what are we talking about? Max Christie, what is he?
Sure.
Anthony Davis, we know who AD is.
Sure.
And then you get a 2029 first. What's that first mean if Luka's there and you built a winner? It just doesn't feel like you got enough for this guy. Am I just overvaluing Luka at this point?
Well,
I mean, he is generational.
I completely agree with that. But obviously, there are those concerns not only about the conditioning, whatever, but you even think about how many times over the years, in his young years, he's still young, but even in his younger years in the NBA, we kept going, man, that one time that he bitches at an official, it just takes, it deflates, it does all these different things. As long as it's translating into W's, though, you don't give a shit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I thought. I thought like Stars could get away with that shit and it could be fine as long as it's fine in the W column.
ESPN just put this graphic out looking at kind of the post Luka AD trade. They have Kyrie, Klay Thompson, Quentin Grimes, AD, and Daniel Gafford in that front line. Of course, Lively's been banged up too. And, you know, AD has long, and just recently in an interview was complaining about the fact that like they need another five.
Yeah.
You know, and right now they have the Lakers lineup looking at like Luka, Austin Reeves, LeBron, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Jackson Hayes. I mean, if you're the Lakers,
Yeah.
I mean, even if like you think you're slightly worse at the moment, like let's just say that like Luka's not 100% healthy.
Sure.
We don't have you have to be thinking about the post LeBron era, and there's so
100%.
much about like picks and stuff. Here's what I do know: that guy Luka hasn't even entered his prime yet. So I guess I'm just floored tonight. This is one of the most shocking things I think I have witnessed as an NBA fan, especially without any rumors. The Lakers just won tonight without AD.
Wait, and the Mavs just have so many bigs though, too. And
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
But Anthony Davis wants to be at the 4. And so
I
to
was
have
say
that
he can stretch the floor, and you think about how the NBA just keeps evolving with their bigs, and we
Yeah.
keep on looking at matchups and length, and how that is just going to be something that is
And
so
maybe-
dominant in the league.
And maybe they look at that team right there and they go, you know what? We have enough to compete for a championship now because we have length and size. AD's at the 4 spot he likes. We've got Gafford. We got Lively when healthy. We got Kyrie, who is just nasty. He added Clay and his experience. I don't know. I'm just sitting here like in the short term, like, is that enough to come out of the West? You know, but in the long term, this is just one of those deals that is stunning. And of course, it's the Lakers who land them. Hold on a second.
Yeah, not surprised about that, but at the same time, it's just more. I think where what is the most surprising thing about this is that the Mavs were the ones that were reaching out. So they, in my opinion, are the ones. Not in my opinion. I think you can just tell, like they're the ones that felt like we don't have enough.
Yeah.
We're not doing enough in Dallas. We got to capitalize on whatever we have. But I would have thought that they would have capitalized on Luka and kept working around that. I mean, I thought that's why they got Kyrie to elevate that. And that's what it was doing. And it still wasn't enough. And you just think about this year and you think about the T-Wolves trading Cat right before the season. And you just think about how
That was pretty shocking.
And that was shocking. But it also was shocking because how many of us were making fun of, two bigs? How is this going to work? Look where the NBA is going. How are you going to have these two bigs, even though Cat could stretch the floor? And then they started seeing more and more success. And Ant just kept getting better and better and better. And it was like, holy shit. And then they make that trade, screw it all up because they want to save money in the long run, all of these different things. And now the West is just looking so weird. You think about the Sacramento Kings and all the De'Aaron Fox drama. I know we'll talk about all of that. But now, if you are in Sacramento too, you're looking at this and you're going, anything can happen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, this is just one of the shocking things we've witnessed. Luka, by the way, has played 22 games this year, averaging 26 points, 8 rebounds, 7.8 assists. Looking at it too, Anthony Davis is under contract this year, 43. Then it goes up to 57, 62, and a player option for 66.8. We know the health history with Anthony Davis too. Anthony Davis also is how old now? He is 31 years old.
Okay.
So the Mavs must think like, hey, we have a championship. Like we have a championship team now. We have the size and length and toughness and a score and Kyrie that can get the job done.
And the thing I always look at too with Anthony Davis, just like you said, with the health history, you know, and you think about last season, 76 games. He played in 76 games, you know, and that was his best year in his career. And so is this something he figured out to be able to be available? Maybe, and maybe you're feeling confident in that. And you weren't feeling confident in what Luka was giving you with his conditioning and maybe as a teammate. I don't know.
You got to remember, too, new ownership. Mark Cuban's not the guy running the show anymore, but Nico Harrison is still the president of basketball operations here. This is just something I just did not expect. To me, Lucas just always seemed like one of those guys that was going to be, with the Mavs for a long-ass time. I mean, his gifts are more than apparent. And maybe we are more sensitive to that because the Kings had the chance to draft him and instead took Marvin Bagley. But wow. This is truly incredible. By the way, Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan hanging out, usually live after Kings games, and the Kings lost to the Thunder tonight, and this whole De'Aaron Fox thing. Think about this. Like, earlier this week, if we find out the De'Aaron Fox and the trade rumors, people are like, oh, he's the biggest name available. Who would have thought it'd be Luka and AD?
No one would have thought. No one would have thought. And now by the way, I can't get over the Mavs having so much size. I just think about Derek Lively as well. And they just have so many bigs. And you think about the teams that we are seeing dominating in this league with that length. Obviously, OKC. Chet's not playing right now, but even Hartenstein being this unbelievable passer, this big that can stretch the floor. I mean, he can make things happen even from the outside if he had to. My point to that being, these teams with all this length, all these bigs, you got to catch up if you're other teams in this league.
Yeah,
and
like
you
the
don't
Kings
have
with
that
no
on your
size
roster.
or length at all. Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
David Aldridge, by the way, has been covering the NBA for a long-ass time. He says, I've been covering the NBA for 37 years. Almost nothing that happens, deals, free agent signings, coach hirings, firings, rises to the level as what the great Ben Bradley used to call holy shit stories. You just get used to that unexpected. This is a holy shit trade.
Yep. I mean, yes, it is. I didn't know what to think of it when we first saw it. And now, like, as we get these little nuggets left and right, whether it's conditioning, whether you want Anthony Davis in a win now situation for him, blah, 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 it still doesn't just fully make sense to me. Even roster construction for the Lakers.
But again, people are going to get caught up in that part of it.
So you want me to just think about the future and what they're trying to do for the future? That's fine.
You know what you do? You know what you do? You get Luka and you figure it out. All right, he's 25 years old. And for the Lakers, think about the generational talent that they've been able to acquire over the years.
Yeah.
I mean, from LeBron, they traded for AD years back. You go back to them landing Shaq in free agency, drafting Kobe Bryant. They have a history of having these franchise centerpieces. And forever, everyone's going, all right, man, are they going to trade some of these future first-round picks to risk it and go all in with this group with LeBron and AD and add to it? You got LeBron, you got to make a title push. Well, they went, you know what? We're giving up AD, who's obviously a good player, and we give up one first-round pick and Max Christie, and we got Luka fucking Doncic. Like, to me, it's like, yes, we may not be that great, but we're kind of scraping by in the West as it is. We're not winning a championship this year anyway. Let's set ourselves up for the future. And I'll tell you this, if you had, like, it was well known that he was available, I just feel like the outpouring of offers could have just blown Dallas away. It's clear to me Dallas was like, how can we remain in a championship window while losing him? It's hard to win championships in this league. We cannot wait for Luka to get healthy and to get in shape. We want to win with this group now. How do we do it? We'll lean into Anthony Davis, put him at the 4, and he's got a 5, finally, that he's been begging for, going back to the days of Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee with the Lakers.
It's stunning. It's shocking. All of the different things. I just, and you know what this does for me, again, if you don't know and you're just here, you're an NBA fan, we're based in Sacramento. We cover the Sacramento Kings. And you have probably seen this if you're a basketball sicko, all the news surrounding De'Aaron Fox, the Kings looking for possible trades. This makes it even more so feel like anything can happen this week before the 6th, the trade deadline. And if you're seeing something like this, like teams are in this, obviously that win now mindset and willing to take these big shifts in these big moments. I mean, it's seriously going back to Minnesota. I know that was more because of money and trying to save and thinking like, oh, we could do the same with Julius Randle.
But it's like the Knicks leaned in heavy, going all in on trading for Bridges with all those picks and getting Cat and getting OG. And so, yeah, but this is one of those stories that no one saw coming. And Luka playing with LeBron, like, what? Dallas is going to be interesting, too, to see just how the offensive flow is. Obviously, Luka, I mean, look at how much he commands. He could create his own shot, right? He can get buckets. He could carry a team. We've seen him score 70 plus in a game. Their offense is going to be a little different. It's Kyrie, but you look at their depth now. I mean, even, we put that like starting lineup that was put out there by SportsCenter, but you still have PJ Washington coming off your bench now.
Yep.
Like, I imagine he's going to the bench. So you have a situation where your roster, you've got Gafford, you've got Lively when he returns. You got PJ Washington, AD.
You haven't even mentioned Clay.
You talk about the toughness and athleticism. Yeah, but Clay can't defend like he used to. But he becomes a little bit of not as much of a liability when you've got that length and athleticism, that rim protection.
So your second line of defense is there, right? So then you have more help. You have that second line of defense protecting the rim, but also in someone in Clay, you think about just him still being that threat that he is. I mean, go over to the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
You look at what Steph's trying to do over there, and he's playing alone at times, right? Or with a whole bunch of G Leaguers, or with Buddy Hield. And those guys not being the same threat that Klay Thompson was, even if he wasn't the same player that he was years ago before the injuries, it's still a threat. And that's what he's been also with the Dallas Mavericks.
It becomes just an interesting discussion, too. Like,
Ooh.
You think about the Mavs going, we don't really trust this guy. There's also a part of me that wonders if Luka asked out. Like, deep down, did he's like, he's not happy there. I just can't fathom them just going, you know what? We've had enough. We've had enough of Luka. We got to the finals last year. We're done with this guy. It just seems shocking to me. But maybe they're like, we're not winning a championship this year with this guy. Let's do it. Winning championships is what matters. Who cares about this guy could be generational? I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to understand their thinking. It just seems wild. And then for the Lakers to just be set up now to go into the new era. I mean,
good for them.
Holy shit.
Good for them.
And let's be honest I wonder, some of these reports that Tim McMahon said about the conditioning and the weight and being in shape and all that about Luka, maybe this trade kind of fires Luka up a little bit too. And all of a sudden he unlocks something that everyone thought he had in himself, but he does it with the Lakers, which could be frightening for the rest of the league, especially if the Lakers are able to build around him.
If he locked in mentally and physically, I mean, as like a baller, not just some star that just wants to bitch and fall down. And again, I say this, and he's gotten so much better off this. He's matured his game in so many different ways. But you look at all of that and just the greatness of what he can be if he's not doing certain things. Yeah, lock in, be motivated by this. And the Lakers are going to be good for a long time. For a long time.
Even if they're, and who knows what else is in store. Like that's the thing now. I mean, what are we going? We can't just assume that, hey, the Lakers are done at this point, or any team's done. We thought it was just going to be the Jimmy Butler thing that would try to get the domino effect going. And, we're going to see trades. And then you had De'Aaron Fox's name pop up now. You're hearing Zach LaVine, right? There's all these names being talked about. These two were not being talked about. AD was being talked about like, hey, he wants some more help. Are the Lakers going to get Valanciunas? Are the Lakers going to make a play for a big? No, these two get traded for each other. Like, what?
We got that.
What? Oh, man. Dave McMenamin from ESPN. I'm going to pull it up on the screen, Morgan. Thanks for showing that. Let's see. Dave McMenamin. He has this update. LeBron claims that he learned of the Davis Doncic trade after the Knicks game when it broke while he was out to dinner with family. Sources close to James told ESPN. James was surprised by the news, is processing it, and had no idea it was in the works. Do we believe him?
I was just
You don't think there's 80 heads up at all on this?
Hey, you know what?
It doesn't matter.
He never talked to JJ Redick before JJ Redick was the coach either, you know?
Well, not about that, right? They
well,
only talked hoops.
They only talked hoops. They never talked about the possible coaching gig that was going to be available.
This is such a shocking story that someone in the chat says Luka must have something going on. There has to be something deeper, right?
It feels like it. It feels like
If you have not done it yet, please hit the thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. Shout out to our brand new sponsor, by the way, Sentivo Vineyards and Winery. We were planning on sipping some wine and being down about the Kings because let's just say their season's been a roller coaster ride and a half, especially after what OKC did to them tonight. Oklahoma City dropping a $144 on them without Jalen Williams. They had 70 rebounds in the game. They had over 70 plus points in the paint, and the Kings look like they're a mess. They look like they're distracted with all these De'Aaron Fox rumors going on. So are we supposed to sit here and just assume like De'Aaron's just maybe going to San Antonio, or should we just be open-minded that other teams could be in the mix too?
I think you have to be open-minded to everything. You have to be open-minded to everything. And again, De'Aaron Fox is not Luka Doncic or Anthony Davis. But he's still, if you want to put him up there, top 20 NBA player, top 25. I mean, there's NBA fans in here. Sure. It's subjective.
Well, he's an all-star.
Whatever.
He's an all-star this year.
Who?
You talking about Anthony Davis?
No, I was talking about De'Aaron Fox.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I was saying where he is at in the NBA. And I'm saying he's not them. And so when you think about what you're looking for, what you're trying to get back, I mean, you better get something win now, established something back with some picks, whatever it needs to be. But it's probably not going to end up being something like this.
Yeah, you think? Yeah. I don't think we're going to wake up and be like, oh my God, Giannis was traded to Sacramento for De'Aaron. Can you believe it? Insane.
Oh my God.
I just thought after last season, there was just no shot. Like Luka finally got him to the finals, and I know it didn't go the way they wanted, but you know, they have all these offseason moves. I'm like, I think they're better than they were. I'm okay. What are they going to look like once Luka's back healthy, once they get some guys back? And to see this move and kind of what it does for the Lakers, like it's definitely going to be weird to see Luka and LeBron share the floor. But, you know, LeBron has been asking for someone to, you know, kind of carry the load. I think at times the hope was that Anthony Davis would be that guy. And he hasn't always been that guy, right? Well, Luka, we know, can carry. He has his old buddy, Dorian Finney-Smith, who he played with in Dallas there.
Yeah. No, it's how many games are left in this? We're not even. We're more than halfway there.
Yeah. I mean, there's like 30 something.
I'm just thinking about the win now situation for the Mavericks, and just thinking about again. Just watched the Thunder tonight, and they're looking pretty good.
Well, if you look at the standings right now, Dallas is sitting at 26 and 23, and they are in the 8th spot. But they are just 3 games out of the 5 spot. The Lakers after tonight, are in the 5th spot. They are 28 and 19. They've won a couple in a row now. So they're in the 5th seed. But like the West is so open. And I look, you can't have that mindset like, oh, OKC, they're clearly the favorites, so we can't try to compete with them. I mean, OKC has to also prove it. They're a team that, to me, you look at how they're built a little bit, right? They better hope Chet's back because they don't have a ton of size.
But that's not my mindset when I look at OKC. I look at the trade deadline and you're making like, we need to fucking win right now kind of move. Where if you're doing an off-season trade, you're looking at building, constructing this roster into what you believe is going to be this championship team, whatever. Dallas feels like that move is going to be their jump.
Yeah, I mean, I think
okay.
They've been hanging tough at 26 and 23 with Kyrie missing.
Could be
with Kyrie missing time, with Luka missing time, with Lively missing time. They've been banged up. They faced a lot of adversity this year, and they've had some terrible injury luck. And so you add a guy who's constantly hurt. But I think if they think they can improve their size and length up front, like they can compete in the West.
And that's the thing. When I look at their roster, I believe that as well. Like, I believe AD gives you obviously something different with his ability to be so dynamic with his size. Like, incredible, right? Just another threat on the floor, a lob threat in so many different ways for Kyrie to work off the handles, throw it up to him above the rim, whatever it may be. Everyone just needs to stay healthy, and sometimes change of scenery causes a little spark that can cause so many different things. Very interesting. Very fun. This is fun.
My goodness.
Sucks that it's in the West, but still
Yeah,
fun.
that's the other thing is 2 teams in the West like making a trade like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And if you're just checking it out, insane. The trade tonight, Luka, Maxi Kleba, Markieff Morris, now on the Lakers. Anthony Davis, Max Christie, a 2029 Lakers first-round pick going to the Mavericks. Jalen Hood-Schifino, a Clippers second-round pick, and a Mavs second-round pick going to the Utah Jazz. Holy shit. Let's get to some super chats that we have in here. We appreciate everyone hanging out, by the way. If you haven't done it yet, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. All it does help our channel grow so basketball sickos around the world can see what we're doing. Grateful donates $5 saying, this was an NBA trade. The NBA pulled the strings on this to keep the league relevant and set up the Lakers with a future star after Le GM. Hashtag conspiracy.
Love a good conspiracy. Good one, though.
It's an interesting one. Also, let's see here. Alsombra donates $2 for your information. OKC owns the Mavs 2028 first rounder unprotected. Interesting.
Thank you.
Brandon donates $2. Does any team want Jimmy buckets?
Ooh.
I mean, it seems like the Suns still do, right? The Warriors have some interest. Keegan Murray donates $2. Keegan Murray watch. Good trade because now we can ignore the Kings game. Yeah, this is a good point. Homer James say, somehow the Lakers always get what they want. WTF. TM says that Dallas crowd the next game is going to be crazy. Yep. Optimistic Penguin donating $5 saying the Lakers downfall imminent. Luka will ruin the chemistry. Mark my words. I mean, will he?
Yeah, why are you so sure about that? Like, I mean, if you said that a few years ago, I'd be like, yeah, maybe. I feel like
I don't think he's a chemistry killer.
I feel like he's on the right path of maturing.
Ian says, when I first saw Luka traded for AD, my immediate thought was, when did the Onion start doing sports? No idea that was real. Dude, I know. Jacob says, what is happening to this league? Appreciate the donation. Hotspot Casino says, I was about to say, where's Deuce and Mo? Looking forward to this pod. Aaron Wiggins did that tonight. Thunder up, baby. Dude, Aaron Wiggins deserves a lot of love for his game tonight against Sacramento.
41.
Just a quick note. I don't know what's more shocking, this trade or that Aaron Wiggins had 41 and 14 against Sacramento tonight in front of his family and his
So cool.
uncles. Great story, dude.
Super
he
happy
absolutely
for him.
destroyed.
I mean, think about being able to drop 40 in front of your family in an NBA game. Couldn't imagine.
Deuce, you rock, brother. Eventually, you and Mo will get a bigger podcast room. I know it. Yeah, shout out No Dunks for saying that. T-Time said, who's going to play defense on the Lakers? The Lakers might be thinking just long-term here. Like, I don't think their roster is perfect at the moment, but it also wasn't perfect before this. Did anyone look at the Lakers before tonight, before this trade was made and go, you know what? I think they can win a championship. I don't think people thought they could win a first-round series. And with LeBron being 40 years old, still LeBron, but like not the same guy, the Lakers need to start thinking more about the future. And I'm sorry, when the Mavs call you and say, hey, what's up, LA? Oh, what do you think about Luka? You're going to definitely perk up and go, what do you want for this guy? Our buddy Jason Gallagher is a huge Mavericks fan. Huge Mavericks fan, okay? I texted him a little bit ago about it. And anyway, he just tweeted this.
Wow.
I was also told Luka had no idea it was coming.
Wow.
Dude, Luka has got to be pissed tonight. No idea it was coming. And then the ramifications that now that he got traded, He can't get the Supermax. He had a 5-year, $345 extension maybe coming this summer. Wow. Bobby Mark says, I have never seen so many team executives not involved in this trade stunned.
Dude.
I mean, so we're not exact. I mean, this was just unbelievable.
That's why when we say that and we're like, wait, how did nothing get out? It's because nothing was getting out to anyone.
Jesus. What is this league? I mean, I remember a couple deadlines ago when, Kyrie gets traded to Dallas and KD goes to Phoenix. We're like, oh my God. But like this tonight, 2 Western Conference teams that both kind of had like similar mindsets to try to compete in the West. And Luka out of everybody. Who would have thought when the Mavs traded for Kyrie that the person who would last longer in Dallas at the end, who would be the last person standing in Dallas, would be Kyrie Irving over Luka? No one would have taken that bet.
No.
And that's why sports and the NBA specifically is amazing. You can't predict this shit. We could sit here all day and go, oh, Luka's a Mav for life, Mav fan for life. He's not going anywhere. Generational. How many MVPs is going to reach championships? The guy is 25 and now he's with the Lakers. You can't predict this.
It's better than Real Housewives. It's literally better than all that drama that you get on reality television. It's better.
And
some
now,
of you don't even know what the hell I'm talking about.
I think some do.
I
think some do.
Good.
And now,
Yeah.
where's Fox end up? Is he going to San Antonio for Stephon Castle and some picks? That trade just feels like so mid now. Before it's like, dude, what a big trade. Now, like anything compared to this is small.
Well, and that's great for the Kings too, right? Because you think about how so many people are like, okay, this is the biggest news on the trade market in the NBA. What's going to happen? No matter what, the Kings are going to get shit on. It's true. It's what happens. But at the same time, after you see this, it's like, if you just get a solid trade when it comes to De'Aaron Fox, again, I think sometimes people, whether you're a casual around the league or even you're in Sacramento and you get frustrated when De'Aaron misses a shot. It's like what he adds to this team, what he is as an NBA player, will not be replaced within this trade.
Well, who the hell knows? If it's a bigger trade and
unless it's some freaking superstar and then you're going, holy shit again.
Well, we've seen some of the reports locally talking about like, hey, like if they move Fox, they're looking to continue to try to win. They're trying to use what they get to maybe add more. What could that be?
Yeah. Oh, my heart.
Insane. Absolutely insane. And for the Kings, I feel like they need to make this trade in the next 24 hours. And that may sound dramatic, but like if you watch what they did in Oklahoma City tonight, this team obviously is nowhere near OKC's level of talent. But, I mean, they allowed 70 rebounds in this game. They allowed 20-plus offensive rebounds in this game. There was 4 players on the Thunder who had 11 or more rebounds in this game. OKC scored 74 points in the paint. It's clearly a team that's feeling things, and I get it. The rumors have been flying left and right. Also, a good lesson here, keep the shit in house. Like, everybody. Agents, teams, people, like they leak so much stuff out and it's going to impact the team. No one knew this Dallas LA thing. And these are 2 of the big stars in the league getting traded for each other tonight.
I think about how they just kept that. They kept that on a phone call. They didn't let players know. Now, we're going to hear the disrespect of not letting players know. Deuce and I were just talking about this the other day, and we were talking about back in the day, you read it in the paper.
Yeah.
Literally, like you read in the paper. You wouldn't hear noise here and there and all these different things. You would see the trade in the paper on SportsCenter, whatever. And now it's like practically impossible. For this to happen with 2 of the biggest names in the NBA after we just had that conversation, it's not impossible.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
If the Mavs win a championship this year, does it make the trade worth it? Just one championship. Let's say they went all in, they got AD, and that's all
Yes,
they had, one championship, and then Luka goes on to thrive in LA. Is that one championship worth it?
Isn't it the same thing with Kawhi Leonard, Toronto Raptors, the championship? Like, it's worth it, right?
Yeah, but the Raptors gave up DeMar DeRozan. They didn't give up Luka Doncic. Is my point. Is Luka? I think we all sit here today and go, this guy is special.
The championship's worth it. I think so.
One championship?
Hi, I live in Sacramento. I've seen one playoff series in 16 years, and I'm just looking for, I don't know, another postseason. Yes. Yes.
Who's to say you couldn't have won one with Luka?
But and that's the thing. I think they could have, but obviously they felt different. And not only do I love this for my entertainment, but I also do love when teams are willing to move on from something big and they're not worried about what the shit anyone else is going to say online or anything. I believe in patience. They might have felt like they were patient enough.
I wonder what the breaking point was. Is it like on his way back? Like, he's not doing the things necessary to get back faster from being banged up? Like, what has happened? I cannot wait for the deep dive into this because it just seems...
Oh, I can't wait for the deep dive.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like anything could have transpired. Just basing it on conditioning and I don't know, he's in shape. That doesn't seem like that would be like, all right, we got to trade him now before this deadline. This is one of the ballsiest, craziest moves. And we're going to be talking about this one for years to come.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Especially with the Lakers, so many people are talking about the post-LeBron era. What were they going to do? What's going to happen after LeBron leaves?
We thought AD was going to be the guy.
Oh, Lakers are going to be irrelevant. AD can't do it. He's always hurt.
Why are you talking like that?
Because it's just now they pulled this off. This is to me like, and Plika didn't even make the call. The Mavs made the call. To me, I'm like, this is the Lakers throwing a Hail Mary, and you're like, oh my God, how they pull it off.
I need a documentary on this whole thing. If one of these teams win a championship within the next 2 years, I need it all. I need all the drama. I need all the deets, all the things.
Joel Embiid tweets this. Wow, no F way.
Taking the NBA world by storm. Dirk with an emoji.
Yeah, and more alerts coming that says the Mavs did not warn Luka that he was going to the Lakers.
So, okay, how do we really feel about that? I know we go, it's a players' league. You think about if you're getting fired from a job, if you're getting moved from a job, like you want to know, you've given so much to this team, to this organization, to the city, but you do think about this day and age and how you can also manipulate the entire trade and situation if you had knowledge of the trade and the situation.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm sure the Mavs thought, look, we're doing right by this guy. We're not sending him to some like place he wouldn't want to go.
Sure.
We're sending him to an organization that has had
DC.
Sure. Like, yeah, we're not just like sending you to the Wizards who've lost 16 in a row. We're not just like we're sending you to the Lakers, a place that has had a legacy of star level talent in winning championships and competing. They're not like just discarding him somewhere. But it's also just like, losing out potentially on the Supermax and just all those things. And it is a delicate thing. Like, I think so many people talk about you have to communicate with players ahead of time. And yeah, I mean, I would play devil's advocate and be like, yeah, but if you do and it gets out, does it ruin your deal? And this is what's tough about the league. It's really tough about the league is these players make a decision to sign somewhere with the intentions of staying. And if they want out, they have to demand a trade and they look like the bad guy.
Yep.
But a team can go, we're trading you whenever they want.
Yep.
You don't have much power. You do get guaranteed deals and you make a shit ton of money. I'm not saying don't feel bad. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel bad for these guys. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's tough.
Does this trade tonight light a fire under the Sacramento Kings' ass to like possibly?
Yeah, I mean,
truly.
to me, how I look at it is like, if as an front office, as an NBA team, as a player or a coach, the fire should be there. Like, if you're a relevant team right now, like the Kings are hanging in there in the mix at the 10 spot, 24 and 24, you should be fired up about improving your team all the time.
I'm not saying that the fire isn't there, but we're also talking about track record for this organization.
Yeah.
With Monty McNair.
Yeah.
And you don't see trades at the trade deadline. So that's why I specifically am asking you.
I get it, but all I'm saying back, I don't know why you're getting so intense with me, is
so mad.
Yeah, you're just a little intense.
No, I was just like, I was passionate.
All I was saying is, like, I would hope this doesn't light a fire. The fire should be there is my point. Like, no shit. Like,
but we don't see the fire every year is my point.
Sure, but like,
flames.
He was an executive of the year
flames.
after one point. So he was not, after 1 year, he was an executive of the year. He's not going to have a fire under his ass. Now, last couple of years with how things are going, yeah, he should be. I'm sure they're on the hot seat. Like, they have to be. So they better be fired up.
Even the other night when DeJounte Murray went down and awful. I said to Deuce, I was like, if they're looking to make trades, they got to protect their assets and their guys and what they're trying to do, because anything can happen on any single night.
Yeah.
And then you do see this huge trade in the NBA, historic trade in the NBA. And you just think about all these layers, all these different things. And so again, being here in Sacramento, I'm just so curious what that thought process is tonight.
What do you think Adam Silver is feeling right now? He is so happy.
Yeah.
Adam Silver is crying.
He's popping.
He's going, wait, we got a new TV deal. Oh my God. And we got Luka to LA. Tears. The Lakers on national TV forever, for eternity. We get the LA market. Like, dude, he has got to be just so happy. Did he just send like a bag to the Dallas Mavericks too? Like, hey, here's a little bonus for getting that done. Here you go. Here's a little extra. Hey, don't worry about the aprons. Wink, wink. Hey, yeah, you'll be paying that tax. Here's a Brinks truck coming to your house. We'll cover it. Expense it. Just expense it. NBA, we got you. You got Luka to LA?
Dude.
I mean, wild.
Dreams do come
I
true.
sit here tonight too, and I do want to, like, as stunned as we are, I am intrigued to see AD in Dallas short term. I don't look at them as a championship team, but like at the same time,
why not?
They got there last year as a flawed team.
Yeah.
And, if Anthony, you're talking about, oh my God, Luka being motivated and going to a new market, and what's that look like in the years to come? In the long term, I think it's fantastic for the Lakers, right? 25-year-old guy. But in the short term, like, I mean, that paint's going to be tough to score. And, when you got AD and Gafford and, sorry, now we're bringing in Derek Lively. We got PJ Washington. I mean, it's pretty impressive. The question will be, do they have enough offensively, to get it done? Can Kyrie carry that load deep into the playoffs?
And I agree. I understand when you look at everything, but you think about one more weapon that doesn't fuck up the spacing. He adds to the spacing in so many different ways because he's able to extend and stretch the floor. He's able to be in that be a five in that position. If for some reason, Gafford and Lively couldn't be out there and you just want to work with that. And
you
you're
have
going
versatility.
Yes.
Can we hear a Shams
please
update of what happened? Why? Explain, Shams.
Nowhere. This is maybe the most stunning trade, definitely that I've been a part of in recent NBA history. As far as it was never clearly out there. And you saw two teams in Rob Pelinka with the Lakers, Dallas Mavericks, Nico Harrison there doing this deal. And I'm told Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, the players, coaches, a lot of people on both sides with the Mavericks and Lakers had no idea. I can assuredly tell you it's a fact. LeBron James had no idea this was coming. Anthony Davis had no idea this was coming. I'm told Luka Doncic is still stunned about this trade, but when you look at the totality of what just occurred, Luka Doncic is a 25-year-old, like you said, mega star, perennial All-NBA player. He's someone that you think of as untouchable.
Sham's even stuttering right now. He's like, 25.
Is a guy that's never going to be traded. I'm told that the Mavericks actually approached the Lakers and offered Luka Doncic a few days ago in a trade.
A few days ago? No one talked?
How did we not hear about this?
How did Pelinka not go, dude, call everybody like, dude, these fucking guys offered me Luka.
Or even like call your mom and like maybe tell her like an update.
If you're getting a call from like Nico Harrison too, you're like, oh, maybe they're calling because they know we like Kyrie in the past. Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. Luka? And you don't tell any. How does this not get out?
Recently, the Mavericks went out. They knew exactly who they wanted. They wanted Anthony Davis. That's the player that if they were ever going to trade Luka Doncic, if this was even a thought that was going to cross their mind, it was for AD. And so the Mavericks called the Lakers, offered Luka Doncic, and that's when the Lakers had to huddle internally. They've never offered Anthony Davis ever in a trade. But if you're going to get offered Luka Doncic, that's when Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, and that organization, they had to meet. And it's Luka Doncic at the end of the day. And they went out, and he's a 25-year-old player. For the next decade, you can look at him as the face of your franchise. And on the other side, with the Mavericks, you have someone who's 31. He's in the prime of his career. He wants to win a championship now, Anthony Davis does. And you pair him with Kyrie Irving, who he's friends with and close with. Jason Kidd coached him on the 2020 championship Lakers. Jared Dudley, there's other members of that coaching staff that he's very close with. And Nico Harrison, he has a relationship with through Nike. So you take the curtains back, and it makes a lot of sense in many ways. But this coming right now, it's the most stunning trade that I've definitely been a part of.
We have witnessed history tonight in the National Basketball Association. The Mavericks think they've got a championship squad that they have put together with Anthony Davis in the fold now. And the Lakers, they're ready for the post-LeBron era with Luka Doncic at 25 years old. Wow.
Happy February 1st.
Yeah. I mean, short term, I know the Mavs are going to get roasted tonight. I really do. But Anthony Davis is a damn good player.
Yeah.
He's a damn good player. And if the goal is like they feel like this is a championship team, okay. But that's the only way Mavs fans are going to look back at this and go, okay, is worth it. Is if you find a way to win a championship or in the mid, I think it's not, there's no other one. It's we got to win a championship. Because if it's like, hey, we're just kind of in the mix. Well, Luka got you to the championship last year. And he's 25 years old. It's the only way.
And it's so wild to think if you look around the NBA and how everything, every team, every organization's not apples for apples. Like it's De'Aaron Fox in where he is in this situation with the trade. It's like Kings fans, the organization, the city just wants to make sure that you're making a trade that is worth it. So then you can also elevate to the next level. Not, of course, you want a championship, but you're just thinking next level. And that's like long-term postseason right now. Where if you're the Mavs, it's literally championship or bust, or you are not satisfied with this.
And Nico Harrison has gotten so much love since he's run the Mavericks, right? He better, like his legacy's on the line here. He better hope it's a championship because you just gave up a guy that we have seen do it at such a high level and also feels like he still has untapped potential that if he does get locked in, that it's going to be crazy for the rest of the league. Holy shit.
Oh.
If you have not done it yet, and I see we have all these people watching, please help us up. And make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit the like button. It just helps our channel grow. Make sure you're subscribed to as we chase 20,000 subs. We appreciate you being here.
Give me a hell yeah.
Thank you so much, basketball sickos, on a Saturday night tuning in for a historic trade. And
my goodness. Lav in the chat says, trading your future Hall of Famer is wild. Also, Sea Life Bro says Cuban is crying right now, guaranteed. Cuban should go live right now, and I would love to see his reaction to this. Jay says AD is going to sprain his ankle. Okay, on his unibrow. Okay, that didn't make much sense, but I thought you were making an injury joke. Anthony says 31 and injury prone. Yeah, that's the risk, right? You add a guy that when he's healthy, you go, I don't know, what's AD when he's healthy? And like super locked in top 12 to 15 in the league. Like we're talking about what he does defensively, his offensive, like, yeah. But there's something to it. It's like, is he right? Is he healthy?
76 games last year. 76 games last year. I mean, obviously, season before, 56. Right now, he's at 42. You know, you're looking at him going in the right direction. I have always been very hard on Anthony Davis. One of my least favorite things about Anthony Davis and one of my least favorite things about Luka Doncic, they both do this shit. It could be one possession. Luka will be bitching on the floor about something. Anthony Davis will get poked in the face and will be crying on the floor. And both of them leave their teams because they're too busy being on the floor, ends up being on a 4-on-5 situation. So they're just switching that, right? But my point to that is, how can Luka keep maturing his game and going in the right direction, especially under a new organization, conditioning everything? And how can Anthony Davis maybe keep going in the right direction with his health?
One of the funniest things I just saw on Twitter, Luka just got traded. I'm supposed to believe that Stephon Castle is untouchable. Yeah, dude. That's what you say if you're the Kings. If you're trying to get Steph Castle in picks, you're going to be like, oh, he's untouchable? Really? Luka just got traded tonight.
Amen.
My God. Let's see here. In the chat, you got Cheater saying, I would actually be shocked if the Lakers got more than 2 defensive stops in a row. Well, yeah, but again, you guys are thinking too in the short term with this Lakers move.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you got a chance to get Luka, and you've got a 40-year-old LeBron. You go swing at that.
But and also, like, you want to try and give LeBron anything, I guess, any change or chance or whatever in his final years, whatever it's gonna be. But you are also planning on the future of your franchise. And if it's true that LeBron didn't know that this was going to happen, if that really is true, well, he didn't have any choice or say on what the future was going to be because he's not going to be a part of it. It's just hard to believe that.
My God, dude. Ew, how weird is this Photoshop?
Yeah, it's weird. Yellow is not good.
Are you saying it's not flattering on him?
It's not.
It's too thick for it?
No, It's not because of that. It's just like, it doesn't, like, navy just looks better on him.
Also, the Pop Base putting this out here, I'm laughing. I'm like, this is definitely not Luka. Like, was this from 2016? Like, he doesn't look like that in years.
I'm so curious if he's been doing other things.
My God,
I mean, he's a dad now. You know, he's got that dad bod, maybe. I don't know.
LeBron gets Luka and Steph Curry gets Geese Santos. That's so messed up, dude. It's so true, though. Steph is dying out there, dude.
Dying.
I've never seen him defended like this. They're like, anyone to just beat us. We don't care.
Dying.
LeBron gets Luka.
Oh, my God.
Insane. Also, players who went for more than Luka: Mikal Bridges, Ben Simmons, Paul George, Donovan Mitchell, maybe Rudy Gobert, maybe. I think people are looking at the draft compensation aspect of it and saying that, but like, AD's a really good player.
Yeah. I mean, what do we, like, let's see. Even we can go to this season alone. 25, almost 26 points a game. 3-point land. His 3-point percentage isn't good.
It's not good. 12 rebounds. How many blocks?
2
blocks.
2 blocks, 1 steal.
Dude.
3.5 assists, whatever.
Yeah. Dude, the All-Star game is going to be interesting too. If AD, I guess AD may not play because he's banged up right now, but
Of course he is.
yeah. Insane, dude.
Oh, this is wild. This is wild.
Oh,
this
my
is so,
goodness.
it's so fun, but it's also more fun because I'm obviously not invested as a fan into either one of these teams. I'm just an NBA fan when it comes to these big old trades. But this is fun.
Let's hear Chris Haynes' breakdown from tonight.
Chris Haynes with another Haynes brief for you tonight.
Do you like the name Haynes Brief too? Like the underwear? That's his gimmick.
Oh,
I think that's what it
I
is.
like it.
Haynes Brief.
Blockbuster trade, 3-team deal, Utah, Los Angeles Lakers, and Dallas Mavericks, which ultimately lands Luka Doncic in LA, AD in Dallas. Now, I'm going to take you behind the scenes a little bit. I was told the Mavericks initiated this. They contacted the Lakers, and I was told that the Lakers reached out to Rich Paul after the inquiry from the Dallas Mavericks, and the Lakers explained that they're looking for LeBron James's replacement, somebody who can initiate the offense, a dominant scorer out on the perimeter, somebody who can kind of take over the realms. And Dallas, they're looking for front court help. And AD, Nico over there, the general manager for the Dallas Mavericks, they're very tight. Matter of fact, Nico was AD's Nike rep. He's the one that helped sign AD to Nike way back when. So there's a connection there. I was told that AD was initially shocked, but as of right now, I'm told he's feeling good about the situation and moving forward. So that's kind of what happened behind the scenes, and what led to this. The Dallas Mavericks initiated this. You have been briefed.
What if he just like rips off his pants and he's like wearing these like
He's holding up his
Haynes,
underwear.
yeah.
You've been briefed. He takes off his underwear.
I like it. Good
That's
job,
what he's got
Chris
to do.
Haynes.
Hold up the underwear.
Yeah, give us a bit, Chris Haynes. Come on.
Someone's saying, is AD wearing a Mavs jersey at the All-Star game? No, they don't wear the team jerseys. I wish they did like they used to. That'd be really cool.
Really cool. They should go back to that.
I can't believe that the Mavs are the ones who initiated it. Wow.
That to me is just like, I need to know so many more. I hope they have a press conference and they ask questions, because I like to know things.
I'm sure they'll tell the truth. We've got more coming up here, but we need to give some love to a brand new sponsor. Actually, the first night that they've been a part of our podcast. Yeah, 2 new sponsors: Centivo Vineyards and Winery Morgan Reagan.
We are so happy to be partnering with Centivo. They are a family-owned winery that crafts some amazing award-winning wines, and they have a new tasting room that's coming in Fairfield. It's coming soon. And you guys, I'm not kidding when I say this. They are the sweetest family in the entire world.
Well, let's also note that they're big Kings fans.
Yes.
So they've been through the ups and downs
All
just
the
like all
things.
of us.
I like their family, and we got to meet some of the families: Sandy, Cindy, Jimmy, and then the queen of all queens, Helen.
Yep.
She is just one of those people that can just light up an entire room. And my whole point of this is we love partnering with people and businesses that we believe in. And not only is their product, their wine just amazing, but they're just amazing people. So we are so thankful, so lucky to be partnering with Centivo Vineyards.
They go to CentivoVineyards.com. Also presented tonight by our friends over at Golden One Credit Union. They're all one with Golden One. If you're a Kings fan, it's awesome because you get perks at Golden One, including 50% off Kings home games, 15% off merch, and you wave that Golden One credit card or whatever debit card at a game, you might be selected for a seat upgrade.
Yeah, so many perks just by being a member. So try your new financial journey today and become a Golden One Credit Union member.
Go to their website, goldenone.com. Also, tonight, Morgan, another new sponsor.
Hey, we are thrilled to team up with Medic Ambulance. They are the trusted name in emergency medical services across Northern California. For over 45 years, Medic Ambulance has set the standards in emergency medical services, combining cutting-edge technology, award-winning service. And if you just think about all these events that you go to and you're like, oh, wait, there's always like paramedics and this car here and everything, people helping. It's usually, especially in this area, going to be Medic Ambulance.
Yeah, from life-saving responses to being the team behind the scenes at your favorite events, Medic is there to serve. When seconds matter, trust the professionals setting the standard in patient care. Medic is the official emergency medical response partner of the Sac Republic and Sac State Athletics. Learn more at medicambulance.com. All right. So we have talked so much about this trade tonight that it's almost covered up what we witnessed tonight in Oklahoma City with the Kings and the Thunder.
I'm kind of glad.
And I don't think we needed to do a deep dive into the Kings Thunder game. It was disgusting. 70 rebounds for Oklahoma City in this game. They out-rebounded Sacramento. Even if you're an NBA fan watching us tonight, you'll be staggered by this number. The Kings were out-rebounded 70-37. They allowed 74 points in the paint. You had Aaron Wiggins go for 41 and 14 tonight. Hartenstein had 15 rebounds, 13 for Jalen Williams. No, not the all-star Jalen Williams. The backup big, Jalen Williams. The all-star was out tonight. And then you had a double-double for Kenrich Williams. I guess the question is, how much do you think what is hanging over the Kings right now, and how much of this De'Aaron Fox shit, the trade rumors, all this stuff impacted tonight's game?
I know you all hate to hear this so much. And you saw Doug Christie's post-game presser when asked about it. He basically was like, no excuses, it doesn't matter. Well, that's where we come in, and we obviously aren't in the locker room, but at the same time, we're human, and breaking news, so are these players. And we believe that there's so many more layers to this when you think about it from an emotional standpoint, and you think about, man, this guy in De'Aaron Fox, his name is in a lot of different trade rumors, could be on his way out. Even if you sit there and say, okay, like, let's be professionals, let's get this game done, let's do what we need to do, it could still be on your mind. It could still be within your body language. Sure, you want them to be pros and figure it out, but I feel like it does factor in just a little bit in the last week.
I don't see how it can't. And it's just this time of year, it's a distraction, right? And the trade deadline in general is a distraction. When names are being thrown out there, and De'Aaron Fox's name is out there heavy right now. There's so much talk about De'Aaron going to the Spurs, but if you believe The Athletic, they reported that over half the teams in the NBA reached out to the Kings about De'Aaron Fox. I don't know why I buy that. I would say someone put that out there. Whose side? Is it the Kings trying to get the Spurs to hurry up and close this deal? Is it Rich Paul to get the Spurs to close this deal? Or are other teams, just throwing it out there too? I don't know. You just don't know what to believe this time of year. But it feels like, I don't know if I'm overreacting. Did we watch the final De'Aaron Fox game with the Sacramento Kings? And watching that today, I could not help but think about that. I'm like, is this the end? This is De'Aaron's final game with the Kings?
So even when we were doing the post-game show on NBC Sports California, I remember thinking, like, how are we supposed to analyze and break down this game when that's wearing on us? And if that's wearing on us and we're not a part of the team, I can only imagine what it's doing to some of these people around the team. So that could be it, which ironically enough, tonight was his 500th start as a Sacramento King in the NBA.
The only guy with more. And the only guy with 500 plus with Sacramento, Mitch Richmond, the Hall of Famer. That's pretty crazy.
It is.
In the chat, Blue Velvet was disagreeing with the fact that they can't fight through it.
That's fine.
Saying if you can't do it, you take off the jersey. You're not built for this. Dude, I hear that to a certain extent. And I think during the game, I don't think during the game they're going, I am playing and I'm thinking about the trade. Dribble, pass. Oh, I just got blown by. I wonder if I got traded. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
I just think it's everything. I think emotionally, in the lead up,
Change.
You're on your phone. Like, I'm sure De'Aaron has been on his phone a lot, not like checking Twitter, but responding to texts, responding to random friends reaching out, taking calls from his agent, wondering, thinking about things when he's away from the court. I don't necessarily think he's doing it on the court, but I think if you're a Kings player, you're thinking about, shit, like, what's going to happen? I mean, we're thinking about it. Why wouldn't they think about it?
When you have to perform in something's on your mind.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely two things you can do. You can be like, yeah, I gotta just buck up and do it, and then you do it great. And then sometimes you still are like, yeah, I gotta buck up and do it, and then you still suck. Like, I think about even when you go into a broadcast at times. I remember last year when Carlin became paralyzed, and Deuce, it was the night that Carlin got paralyzed, and Deuce had to do his first show with NBC with Mike Bibby, and he went in strong and had to act like everything was right in his world.
Yeah.
You probably didn't have your best performance, even though you were trying to.
And guess what? In that moment, it felt good to just be thinking about a basketball game and talking about a basketball game for that 2.5 hours. And it's the same thing with these players.
That's
I agree
all
with
I'm
you.
saying.
And so, by the way, OKC probably kicks their ass anyway.
Yep.
I think this was just like the worst case scenario for them. When you think about Oklahoma City just lost last game to the Warriors, a game where SGA goes for 52. The rest of the team, I think, scored 57. No one else was knocking down shots, and they barely lost to the Warriors.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, they lost. They're back at home where they play well. They're deep. They've got dogs everywhere. And they brought it tonight. And this is what makes that team special. They're locked in, they're deep, and it doesn't matter. They're going to play with the same type of fire and intensity no matter what. And they brought it against a team that Sacramento is completely flawed. Like we've known this. Like we know their bench. We were like at halftime and the bench had no points, 0 points. They had like 5 into the third. The only reason it jumped up is because they played bench guys late. Other than that,
Garbage time.
It was not a good night for the bench yet again. The 3-point shooting, 25%. These are all themes we've been talking about all year. So when you couple just the inconsistency that we've seen throughout the year with Sacramento against a great team, and oh, by the way, the De'Aaron Fox stuff, I'm sorry. It leads to a bad night for Sacramento, and that's what we saw tonight.
Yeah. I think there's just so many layers to it, and it's fair to act like it's not black or white. There's that gray area about it. And I think what I saw tonight was something that we've seen in a few of these losses on the road. How, what they don't have is being more and more exposed. We saw early on against Denver, against the Knicks, it was so much of their length. And then in this game, you see so much of their depth, their bench,
Their force, their physicality.
Yeah, just like there's so many things that they are missing in individuals as a team within their identity. And it's not just something you can coach into whatever, it goes into roster construction. And this is something we were talking about with Mike Brown, under Mike Brown, and then Doug Christie winning 7 straight, shut everyone up for a little bit, even though those flaws were still there, but it was just fun not having to talk about
But you were
those
winning,
flaws.
so the flaws were covered up, even though the flaws did not just disappear when Mike Brown left.
No. So now we're back here looking at the flaws, and now you look at the West with a historic freaking trade tonight, and I think about a team like the Mavs who now have AD, Derek Lively, and Daniel Gafford, and I'm not even going into the rest of the long arms, and it's just like, holy shit, you gotta add more length and depth to your roster.
Size at the wing, all
the
that
things.
stuff. Yeah, they just need some bench help. And then, I just thought OKC imposed their will, and that's their identity. This is not just against
So good.
Sacramento. We've seen it when they played Boston. They have a level of force and physicality. They're ball hawks. They communicate well. Their on-ball pressure is fantastic. They don't allow anything easy. Number 1 in deflections, number 1 in steals, number 1 in offensive rating, number 1 in points per game allowed, number 1 in field goal percentage, number 1 in 3-point field goal percentage. All the defensive categories, for the most part, they're near the top, and that's without Chet Holmgren. Tonight, that was without Alex Caruso as well, and without their all-star, one of their all-stars, in Jalen Williams.
Yep.
This team is deep. They're well coached. They've got fight. They've got everything you want, and that's what all these other teams in the West are chasing right now.
Well, you even think about someone like Aaron Wiggins stepping up in that starting lineup. I mean, this is something we've seen before with injuries, even with him coming off the bench. Sure, he's averaging around, 9-10 points a game, but at the same time, we've seen him go off. We've seen him contribute, especially when a night Jalen Williams might slow things down. So it was nice to, it was, I guess if you're an OKC fan, it was great to see that someone in Aaron Wiggins can step up and drop 40 on a random Saturday night.
And then you have Dort and Wiggins combined for 12 of 24 from 3.
Yep.
They each hit 6 3-pointers. Oh, by the way, they finished 19 of 46 from 3. They shoot 53%. We mentioned the 70 rebounds. They had 37 assists and 12 turnovers. This is one of those perfect games.
Yeah.
If there was a perfect game, if you were a coach, you probably loved everything about it. We mentioned the points in the paint, 74. Second chance points, 24 second chance points. Fast break points was the only category they really lost.
Now, something you mentioned to me on the way back from San Francisco, the NBC studios, you were talking about, like, you know what's crazy, Morgan? If you wanted to look at something on the bright side, the Kings are still technically in it.
Well, and that's the thing. They are 24 and 24, but being in it, you can only be in it so long. All right, we are now, this was game 48 tonight. Game 49 is next. So do the math. What is that? 33 games left in the season? 33 games. Last year, they won 46 games. To reach 46 games, 46 wins, they've got to win 22 games the rest of the way out of 33. That sounds like a daunting task. Now, they may not need that to get in the play-in this year, but it's tight in the West. You're not going to get there if you don't make a move. You saw tonight.
Yeah.
The Mavs just made a tweak. They feel like they're better tonight. The Lakers, I don't know if they feel like they're better tonight. They're thinking long-term after this, which is just eerie to see. Shams just put it back out. It's 1,000% real with a picture of Luka in a Lakers jersey and AD in a Mavs jersey. Insane to see. But the Warriors, you think a team should be you talk about lighting a fire under somebody?
Yeah.
That Warriors, Steph's got to be going tonight to Lake Up going,
you couldn't do this shit?
We couldn't have, and they don't have an AD to give
no,
up. But
no,
my point is, that's where you go. The Warriors are going to be aggressive. The Suns have gone all in. There's been so much talk about what they're trying to do. What kind of path do they take? The Lakers just thought about the future tonight a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Who's to say the Suns don't try to think about the same thing? Do the Suns think about making a trade that's more about the future, getting a top talent back, getting draft picks back, and go, you know what? This shit we're doing all in is not working. Jimmy Butler, this is too complicated. He wants an extension. We're not totally comfortable with it. Is Jimmy Butler going to be the missing piece for us in the West? Who's to say that someone on their team doesn't get out?
Well,
I mean, after tonight,
anything could happen.
as KG would say, anything's possible.
Who says that?
Kevin Garnett. When the Celtics won the
it just
championship.
didn't sound like that.
I know.
Do it again.
It sounded like a drunk Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, do it again.
Anything's possible.
That was way better.
Thank you.
The first one, I was like, oh my God, is he okay?
Dude. Yeah. In the chat, someone's saying, what about a KD move? Yeah, dude.
Why not?
Hey, D Fox. If you're moving De'Aaron Fox, swing for the fences.
You never know.
After tonight,
Yep.
you can't be shocked. There is not a trade that we are going to hear for years to come that will shock us like the one we got tonight.
Well,
and so to your point, yes, the Kings at 24 and 24. If you have Sabonis on your team, you got DeMar, you better make a move to try to do something.
and
because
make it worth it.
Treading water,
no.
that's not very fun. Your
Make
arms
it
are going
worth
to get
it.
tired and you're going to sink. You know what I mean?
That's drowning. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't tread water forever. That's the whole point.
Got it.
It takes a long time. You
Scary,
do that in
sad.
high school where you had to tread water?
Yeah, like a water polo kind of thing.
No, just in PE. I had that once.
I don't remember swimming in PE.
Oh, well, we did.
Oh, well, no. But I did have to swim for my basketball team, and remember they made us tread. And
Makes sense,
very
swimming. Yeah, for basketball makes
Are you
sense.
serious? It's so good for your muscles and your body.
When's the last time you played basketball? Yeah, be quiet.
I mean, like 2 months ago? Like, what do you mean? What are you even saying?
I played on Friday.
I know. That's where you're going with it.
Some more super chats. We appreciate everyone hanging out tonight. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Hotspot Casino, again, donating $5 saying, in
Thanks.
my opinion, the Mavs hurt themselves. If Davis minutes cuts into the Gafford's minutes, then I don't see how the Mavs getting out of the second round. Why would it have to cut in? I mean, it's going to cut in somebody's minutes, right? But, I mean, they could play together.
4-5 situation. Have AD stretch the floor.
And from a spacing perspective, it's not always great because AD's not a good 3-point shooter, but it's
You'll
still
figure it out.
Hey, you still have to guard Anthony Davis. So yeah, they'll be all right. Monty donates $2 saying, Monty, take notes. You can do it too. Okay. Robin says, I think the trade and rumor trades are making me dizzy. Yeah, that's how I felt tonight. I wish there was a camera on us when we found out about the trade because I was losing my mind.
I was shooting something in here to be like, we're going live.
Yeah.
And I got I wish I kept it recording because I heard you scream like, oh no. And look at this. So I'm look at me posing.
Okay, you're posing to do a promo.
Wait.
What did I say? What?
What? And I was like, who died? Literally. That's all. But I did get kind of a moment. God, I wish I kept it recording.
Be Grateful said, did not get out because it was an NBA trade, not a whisper. Yeah, no murmurs or whispers. It happened. Jay in the chat says, the Mavs GM said they traded for AD because he is defensively minded and defense wins championships. I mean, I think that's probably part of their mindset here. Force Ghost Fabio, $5. AD got traded because he dissed LeBron when he passed MJ for the most 30-point games. I don't... Oh, that's done. We got to trade him.
Hey, I like it.
Yeah.
Love drama. Love drama.
Man, dude, Jimmy Butler is still out there.
Yep.
De'Aaron Fox is still out there.
Yep.
Levine.
That one just breaks my heart still.
After tonight, what other conversations are happening at this hour?
I don't know.
Who's talking?
Zion?
What?
Is it? I know.
Could Zion be on the move? Could Brandon Ingram? That's been a name that's been talked about forever. But could any surprises happen?
Adam Silver's going to shit himself.
The Suns. What are the Suns doing? Why hasn't the Jimmy Butler trade happened?
Yeah.
Are the Suns doing something else?
Tell me something good.
This is setting up to be either the craziest trade deadline or we're going to come off this high and be like, oh, man, that was it.
Who cares?
No, you're right. You're right. This was it. This was great.
Then I'm fine. Well, I'm not fine from a Sacramento standpoint. It's like, you got to do something. Got to do something.
Embiid gets traded. Embiid, he's been traded. Well, who would do that? I'm out on
Not
that.
I. And no offense, but yeah, no.
Well, Embiid, I don't think's watching tonight, so don't worry about offending him.
Thank God. Okay, so no.
Dude, great point. Corey says there are people sleeping right now. Dude, so it is 10:51 on the West Coast where we are. If you're a Mavs fan, it's almost 1 a.m. You might have gone to bed at 9 a.m. Imagine a Mavs fan is going to wake up in the morning and go, I'm so tired. Okay, what? Sunday, what am I going to do today? Look at the Mavs schedule. And when do the Mavs play? We play the Cavs today. That's going to be a fun matchup. Oh, I can't wait. Let me check my phone. And they see that shit. They're not going to believe it.
That's how they're gonna find out because they're.
Let me reenact it.
Okay. Deuce Mason, Mavs fan, take 2.
Well, the Cowboys aren't playing today. We know that. Check my phone, see what's going on. Mavs play the Cavs today. The fuck? What the fuck?
Who do you call?
That good? Did that what happened? Like grab your heart?
I didn't understand the scream. I didn't know if
The scream. You're shocked.
But like it was kind of a creepy scream.
It's creepy. It's so shocking. It's not a natural scream.
Okay,
you do it.
The heart attack. Okay.
A heart attack.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you go.
I'm a Mavs fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how you wake up. Okay, go
on. Guess I'm not watching the Dallas Cowboys today.
I thought that was a funny one. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see who my Mavs are playing today.
This is terrible acting.
What? No, this is a lie. Boom, 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 boom.
Too calm. Dude, this is Luka. They didn't trade just like, you're acting as if they traded Quentin Grimes.
I was calling my dad to be like, Dad, did you see this? Did that really happen? sorry.
Well, let me mansplain to you. Actually, it did.
My dad would never. I mean, I could call my mom, but my mom would be
that
like,
was awful.
"What?"
Honestly, from you, that's really disappointing.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know how to act like a fucking Dallas Mavericks fan.
I was really good on that, I felt like.
I thought you were fine. I just didn't understand like the heart attack.
Because I'm shocked. My heart hurts.
Someone did tweet though, Woj is sleeping right now and living right.
Dude.
Like that guy.
No.
would have a heart attack.
That's a great point.
I know.
And I'm so glad. Do you think when Woj wakes up, if he's sleeping, I still don't believe that guy's a vampire. Do you think tonight he's like at peace with it, or does it get his itch? Like, is he like, God, the biggest fucking trade in NBA history, and I don't get this shit.
If that's the case, then he needs to go to therapy.
Morgan, I bet you there's a part of him as a competitor,
that
is like, ooh, God, I would have loved to have broken that one. I guarantee it, even if
For
he's
sure.
at peace. Like, this is we've read from multiple NBA people. We're saying the same thing. Fans are feeling the same way. One of the most shocking trades, if not the most shocking trade we've ever seen in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
he's feeling left out a little bit tonight.
okay. Well, then I would make a therapy appointment for Monday and be like, I need help. I need help. Like, I'm still itching for that shit.
Man. In the chat, Deuce, stick to your day job. You're a very bad actor. Okay. You're a casual says, David Stern, wake up from the grave and veto this trade.
Oh my God. No.
David would probably like this trade tonight.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
He would. He wouldn't stop this.
And thinking about the Lakers fans. Yeah, Lakers fans are probably still awake, though. It's still kind of early on the West Coast, right? You're
It's a Saturday night.
But imagine you're fading. You're on your phone. Here.
Oh, this is a Lakers fan fading on his phone. Take one.
I can't do it. You're making me laugh too much. I can't. Anyway,
And
we're being stupid.
By the
now.
way, if you're a Lakers, like you're probably like out partying in LA. I don't know. Is that what Lakers?
Is that what you're doing right now? I know. I'm acting as everyone is like in their mid 40s, just going to sleep on Reddit, looking at Reddit threads and upvoting.
Oh my God. Oh, I love it. Someone says still waiting for Willard's take on this trade.
Dude.
Can't wait to get that.
Oh, that's what I want to look at, Morgan.
What?
Lakers schedule.
Oh, well, so many people have already tweeted the first times that they're playing.
It's already a TNT game, February 25th in Dallas.
Wait. Let me check my calendar.
Excuse me, that's in LA.
Okay.
February 25th.
February 25th.
Kings, Mavs, TNT. When else did they play?
I have a night off.
They also play April 9th at the end of the season on ESPN at Dallas. So they still play once in LA and once in Dallas.
Okay. Cool. Putting that on my calendar.
Dude.
Yep. On the calendar. Oh my God. I'm so excited. I'm going to like eat pizza and watch.
My God.
This is fun. This is good. Oh.
I just
Did
can't get it.
LeBron say something?
Well, CBS Sports had some guy on there, NBA Insider. Anyone can call themselves an NBA Insider. Bill Ryder was on CBS Sports HQ and reported that LeBron had grown frustrated with Anthony Davis. And LeBron's response was, "You effing lie. Pinocchio clown emoji."
Why do people just say things so confidently?
Well, that's what they hear. I think that's like the one thing this time of year, and I say this almost every year.
You do say this every year.
And I'm seeing it more and more with this King Spurs trade, dude. Like, there's this guy on Twitter named Spurs Reporter who might be like the nicest guy ever.
He
but
seems very nice.
my goodness, does he just run with stuff? He hears one thing and confidently runs with it like he's Adrian Wojnarowski in his prime Woj. Like prime Woj in his bag. And it's like, all right, you got to tap the brakes a little bit. And that's not just him. It's a lot of people on social media nowadays. Yeah. This time of year, everybody's talking. Except, I guess, between LA and Dallas where no one leaks anything. Like, agents talk. Executives talk. Also, talk about Rich Paul being Rich Paul is AD's agent. He's also dealing with the De'Aaron Fox thing right now. That's fascinating. Anyway, agents talk.
Yeah.
Execs talk. Scouts talk. Family members, other players, coaches, security guys, a guy who's a barber of a player, someone who details their car. Like, everybody is talking.
Yep.
And unfortunately, it's a game of telephone. And sometimes shit gets lost in translation. Sometimes things are a blatant lie. Some things are misconstrued. It's a game. It's a leverage play. You gotta just be careful when you're consuming this stuff. We all love rumors. We all love juice. We love it. If there was a rumor about Woj, if there was a rumor about AD and Luka, we'd be like, holy shit, we might need to go live. But this is actually trade. But the rumor game is crazy. And unless it's coming from some of the prime guys out there, Shams, Sam, like guys who are covering the league on a daily basis and locked in a reputation of breaking stories, I'll go with it. But if it's just like Joe Randoms, I'm sorry, I can't buy it.
I'm with you. And
you have to have a credibility either very, very much locally, like tapped in locally, and we have some of that in Sacramento, or nationally, you got to be ready.
Even when we're told rumors and things, we don't say shit because it's like one of those things.
It's a game, dude.
It's just, you just got to like, one, love knowing, but two, also just love seeing when things are going to come out, when things are going to be seriously reported by a journalist. And then I'm like, let's go. That one was real.
Jake Fisher, he has this. For what it's worth, we like rumors, so we'll just throw rumors for fun. Dallas had contacted several teams this week looking to reroute additional salary for a potential 3-team deal. A bunch of teams knew inklings about the Mavs being close on a trade, but nobody knew it was Luka. Nobody. So, I mean, AD must have just been like literally the only guy they wanted. They wouldn't have taken Giannis, like.
I'm sure they would have taken Giannis.
Why didn't they make that call then?
Giannis isn't maybe for sale?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like they're not looking for a new home for Giannis. Like they're just
trying to sell and move on. Let's see here. Randy in the chat says the Mavs plan just avoid the tax. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's the plan in today's game. I don't know how that impacted their salary long term, but obviously Luka would have been offered a super max for sure. 5 years, 345. Insane. Yeah, August in chat says that must be where the Gafford rumor came from. Yeah, there was Daniel Gafford trade rumor a couple of weeks back, and you're like, really? They want to move Gafford? That doesn't make much sense. Man.
It's just it's wild looking at their roster, thinking about what they can be.
Yeah.
So, the thing is, for both these teams, like I can't sit here and be like, oh yeah, it just makes both these teams better. But if I am going to look at one today and be like, oh, well, they got better, it would probably be the Mavs.
In a different way.
Exactly, because like Luka is the better player in this trade. But I look at how the team is constructed right now, it's about the future for the Lakers. Then again, I could be so off base and like Luka and LeBron just fucking go off,
But and you would just have to see what other moves, if they can make any moves after this.
Yeah.
Because they don't really have much rim protection anymore.
They definitely need more.
And when's Luka coming back? I don't know, dude. This is an unbelievable night, and I'm so glad we got to share it with you over a glass of wine.
We had just gotten back from the NBC studios in San Francisco. So like in the rain, driving back for an hour and a half, and we're like, okay, let's talk about this shitty Kings loss. And then the news breaks and we shifted. And I'm just so glad that this happened on a Saturday night when we were ready. We love this shit. So thank you for being basketball sickos and being here with us too.
I guess the next question is, when does the another big trade happen? Does De'Aaron Fox get moved? Like, does tonight's game in Oklahoma City, where the Kings get hammered by the Thunder, does that push him closer to making a move? Or is De'Aaron Fox here post-trade deadline? That seems like that wouldn't happen, but...
I know. And it's sad to think about either way. I mean, it's like just again, all the layers to even that in Sacramento and what him and his family means to this city. But it's wild to think about what happened tonight in the NBA and just like how it could push certain things along too.
You want to hear what Brian Windhorst had to say on SportsCenter tonight?
Sure.
Let's hear some Windy on this trade that shocked the NBA world.
There's a temptation to focus on the Lakers here because they potentially just acquired the next great Laker, and it's an amazing story when you look at the history of their franchise. But the story of the moment and what my phone is filling up with is the reaction to the Dallas Mavericks making this move. I had an all-star, current NBA all-star text me and say, do you know how much the Mavericks must hate Luka? I mean, this is what they're talking about in the league. I've had, veteran coaches text me and say they can't believe they saw this. They just have never seen anything like this. And Luka is 25 years old, okay? He is under contract for several more years, and this summer he is already eligible for a Supermax. I find it completely unbelievable that he would not sign that contract. This was not done because the Mavericks didn't think Luka wanted to be there. Even if he didn't sign that contract, you would have a whole year to figure it out. This was done because the Mavericks didn't think that going forward with Luka was best for their franchise. Think about that statement. A 25-year-old who's been first-team All-NBA the last 5 years and carried them to the finals a few months ago. And they said, we want out of the Luka Doncic business, and we want out of it now. They didn't put him on auction, Kevin. They didn't say, we're going to trade Luka Doncic, bring us your offers. They targeted one team, and they made the offer and deal in stealth mode. This is just shocking. And I will say this. We all know what Luka's, pockmarks are. We all know what his deficiencies are. We all have seen his greatness. But nobody in the world has more information on Luka Doncic than the Mavericks. And the Mavericks just pulled the ripcord. It's a stunning situation.
Nobody has more information than the Mavs. This is a very interesting line. You're right. They know him better than anybody.
Yes.
And they know what comes with it. And we've seen some of it, right? We've been critical of like, God, man, just lock in. Why are you bitching at officials all the time? Man, if you just get in shape, what could you be? There's clearly another level that I think Luka can reach, both with his maturity, where he showed signs of growth last year at times in the playoffs, and just from a conditioning standpoint. But if you're the Lakers and you're trying to plan what's next post-LeBron era, I'm taking that chance, especially when I didn't feel like I was winning a championship this year anyway.
Yeah, no, and I think if you're Dallas, and look, you could have tested things all around the league, just like you said. Why didn't you hit up the Bucks and go for Giannis?
I just randomly brought that up.
But my point, even just testing the waters, is my point on everything. And the fact that they were targeting the Lakers with that specific one, even if there's other rumors out there like, yeah, they were like talking to other teams about trades, but never putting Luka in there. But then to the Lakers feeling like, no, we'll trade straight up. Like, let's do this. And my point to that being, they felt like whatever they were getting back could be a win now situation for them, because that's their whole purpose of right now. While Clay is, I say decline. I don't mean declining, but
he's not
older.
the same guy.
He's just not the same guy. Getting older. Kyrie still playing at such a high level. You got these bigs, and you saw what you were able to do last year. PJ Washington, all these, your depth, and then AD and what he can do on the floor. Yeah, like it all makes sense. I'm excited to see how it could come together for the Mavs. Just I like the style.
Yeah. And, if they're really not that comfortable with what they have seen over the years, coupled with the fact that, he is due a Supermax extension, you don't want to pay him that because it's going to cost a lot of money and you don't believe in it, but you still feel like you have the chance to compete in the West. I mean, it's still ballsy, and it goes back to what I said earlier. You win a championship, I think your fans go, okay, but you better win a championship soon, because if you don't, and you just punted and gave up Luka,
But look,
It's tough.
being a fan of a team that didn't draft Luka when they could have drafted Luka, and it's still something that is talked about today. It's very interesting looking at the way that he was perceived, obviously, by the Mavericks organization, and going to what Windhorst just said about how they must feel about him if they were looking to trade.
Scout in the chat says LA is building for next year. Yeah. I guess my instant reaction, I could sum it up, is simple. Short term, the Mavs, I think with Anthony Davis, it doesn't look bad, man. Anthony Davis at the 4 with a legit 5. You have a couple options at the 5. You still have Kyrie. You've got legit depth.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting team in the West. There's no doubt about it. Anthony Davis has been playing some strong basketball this year. And Luka, there are question marks. I think with Luka, there's always going to be that. But even with the question marks, you know how talented he is. And for the Lakers, even if it's a step down and they have the weaknesses we all see, what are they going to be defensively?
Still need
they
to
lost
change
this. They have
roster.
to be thinking about the post-LeBron era.
Oh, yeah.
And they're taking a chance on Luka. They are gambling, saying, we didn't give up a whole bunch of draft compensation for years to come. We gave up a guy in Anthony Davis who's 31.
Yes.
Who we but are we a championship team right now? We gave up Max Christie, solid young guy who's shown some nice things in the Lakers starting lineup, and we gave up a first-round pick. We've got Luka now.
Let's build around this 25-year-old.
Let's see what we can do with it.
Yep.
And it doesn't mean it's going to instantly work for the Lakers. It doesn't mean it's going to be a home run. But for them to plan out the next era of Lakers basketball, I'll sign up for that building block. So just shocking. Just absolutely shocking. Ben the chest says LeBron to Sacramento for DeRozan, Lyles, Herter, and a pick. How funny would that be? It's like, they're also trading LeBron tonight.
Yeah. No.
My
and
God.
LeBron didn't know about it.
The Kings, by the way, play Minnesota coming up on Monday. I'm wondering if Deuce and Fox will be playing in that game. That's going to be fascinating to see. We do need to give a shout out to our friends over at Northwest Exteriors, too. They've been with us for the last 2 years. You need windows, go to northwestexteriors.com. They also bring us the simply the best player of the game each game for the Kings. Usually we like to make it a Kings player.
When the Kings are playing well, but tonight we know exactly who it is.
It's Aaron Wiggins.
Absolutely.
Aaron Wiggins. Shout out to him, dude. Doing it in front of family, friends. He had 41 points, 14 rebounds on 16 of 30 shooting, 6 of 14 from 3. He was hunting shots late.
It was so fun.
Also, that was slightly irritating. Not that I was mad at him. I was mad at the Kings because I'm like, dude, at some point,
you got to check him.
You got to foul this guy. Not anything dirty, not flagrant, but
be aggressive.
Where's the pride? This is not Klay Thompson who dropped 37 in the quarter on that some bad Kings team. This is a veteran Kings team. You got to show a little fire.
Yep.
This guy's literally the crowd is going, hey, give him the ball. And he's getting the ball and he's scoring. and he's chucking threes. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Averages 9 points a game and you're letting him cook you. I'm happy for Aaron Wiggins. I like him as a player.
And his family was there and everything.
Yeah, it's a great story. Great story for Oklahoma City.
Also, too, everyone needs to know if the De'Aaron Fox news, I say De'Aaron Fox, or any big trades in the NBA breaks again.
Yep.
We're live.
Just like this.
So
what happens if it's at 3 a.m.?
You can turn on your notifications if you'd like. Either way, just subscribe, hit that thumbs up as well.
Let's get to some final thoughts, Morgan.
Yeah. Final thoughts. Fuck the Kings game. Final thoughts about this historic trade tonight. It's always interesting when it's not the team that you root for and it's this big of a trade. So to see how this one's going to pan out, not only for the Lakers' future, but also for the Mavs in their win now situation that they have going on. But also, you're going to look at this situation, you're going to go, okay, is this the new way that teams need to do things? Keep things quiet. Keep it all in house. Do not let things get out, because then no one can manipulate and screw up what you're trying to accomplish within your trade. And that is what we saw tonight in 2025, which is just wild, bizarre. But as an NBA fan, I fucking love it all.
I think we have said more F-bombs tonight than
So
we have
sorry.
had in the history of the podcast.
I'm so sorry.
But it's one of those shocking nights that you're just, what?
Yeah.
My final thoughts, this is why you love sports. This is why we all watch the unpredictable nature. It's like why we watch games, but we all spend hours coming up with trade ideas. We're submitting them on Reddit, sending them in, group chats and on Twitter, like this. No one had this trade. No one thought about this trade. No one thought this trade would even be imaginable, thought of. And if someone did, we would roast them, right? If someone put this trade on Twitter, it was like an idea, like, hey, dude, what do you think of Luka going to LA for AD? You'd be like, okay, yeah, dude, yeah, that's happening, idiot. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what's wild about it. And it's what makes sports amazing, the unpredictable nature of it. Oh. What else is in store? Will the Lakers make another move? Will the Mavs? Will there be another massive name that gets moved before the deadline? Buckle up. We'll be here for the ride. We appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with us. We love you guys, but we's got to go. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe, by the way.
All have a wonderful rest of your night. Basketball sickos. See ya.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know. Deuce and